basically, what is the ISLM model? I'm going to draw a nice diagram. On the I and Y space, meaning we have Y in the horizontal axis, I in the vertical axis. I here is the interest rate. And the IS basically means this is equilibrium in the goods market, which denotes the investment equal saving. And this is something we already covered when we talked about the goods market. We said there's an alternative way of thinking how equilibrium happened. Remember, the equilibrium condition in the goods market when demand equal production. Firms hold no inventories means that equilibrium, for equilibrium to happen, production need to be equal to demand. We also drive equilibrium in the goods market using this condition when investment equals saving. IS tell us that this every point on that curve, which we call IS, again, it's coming from investment equals saving. This is where it comes from, the IS. So every point on that curve, on the IS curve, show us equilibrium in the goods market. Okay, just remember what we measure in both axes. We have Y in the horizontal axis and I, or the interest rate, on the vertical axis. On the other side, LM comes from liquidity preference, which means demand for money, equal money supply. So M here stands for money supply, and L is liquidity preference or demand for money. Okay, so every point on the LM curve means this is an equilibrium point in financial markets. Okay, so obviously now the interaction between both, meaning the point where these both, the intersection point between both, that will give us the simultaneous equilibrium in both markets together. So again, we studied first the goods market and equilibrium in the goods market, and then we studied the equilibrium in financial markets. And today we're trying to bring these together and see how we can understand the equilibrium in both markets at the same time, which is given by, or is provided by, the ISLM analysis. So this is the very big picture before we jump into the details. So what we're going to see now is IS, LM. These are two curves. Okay, the IS denote or show the equilibrium in the goods market. LM show the equilibrium in the financial market. IS is a downward slope demand curve. Downward slope curve. So, and the LM traditionally used to, or looks like an upward slope curve, but today we'll talk more about this idea, about if central banks choose first interest rate and then adjust money supply, how this is going to affect the shape or the slope of the way the LM looks like, LM curve looks like. But before we start with the first one, which is the IS, you should know that this is a demand side analysis, demand side based analysis. And again, why? Because we assumed we are in the short run. We're still talking about the short run. So I'm saying it again and again and again. We're talking about the short run, and what we're going to do today, again, we talk about the short run. So changes in the demand side can happen through changes in fiscal policy or monetary policy. We understand changing fiscal policy means that changes to the government spending or taxes, changes to or shifts in the monetary policy means changing money supply or the interest rate. So it should be clear before we start that the ISLM model is used for short-run demand side policy analysis. Okay, so that's the big picture. So what we're going to see is just a graph or a diagram where we can have these relationships in one place, put these together, and see the overall equilibrium.